What I absolutely love about this time of the year is that things are getting a lot more exciting, but not necessarily that busy. You see, the draft, free agency, the trade deadline, these times are pretty busy. Stanley Cup Playoffs starting up, that's pretty busy, I'd say. A lot of teams trying to sort out their rosters, trying to micromanage their players, trying to do this, trying to do that, trying to implement whatever. But the preseason, it's not really that busy. There aren't many trades made at this time. There are roster cuts, yes, but a lot of these things happen to do with prospects and who's going to get that 13th forward spot. You're not trying to work some cap shenanigan magic. You're not trying to make LTIR stuff happen. You're not trying to make any trades, most likely. You're just trying to tighten up the loose ends here. If you have an RFA, you're trying to sign him. If there's another guy you're looking at in free agency, maybe you sign him. Or maybe your farm team signs him. Who knows? It's a fun time for us because there's a lot of stuff going on, but it's not necessarily busy. Which is why you're able to see clips like this get posted to the internet, where Sportsnet 650's Satyar Shah and Dan Riccio were able to have a conversation Monday afternoon with Ken Holland, the GM of the LA Kings. What in the world? Why does this happen? I get it, sometimes opposing GMs or opposing executives on other teams will find their way onto Vancouver Sports Talk Radio, a show all about the Canucks, by the way, to talk shop and talk whatever it is that's on their plate. And this clip that was posted goes over what Ken Holland had to say about current LA King and noted talented goal scorer in the NHL, Adrian Kempe. Now, the Kempe situation is interesting. He is a very talented player, and I'm pretty sure if you've watched any California-based hockey game with LA the past few years, you've heard this guy's name and you know what he's about. Adrian Kempe is making $5.5 million till the end of this upcoming season, and he's 29 years old. The most previous campaign, he had 73 points in 81 games, and 10 points in 6 games versus the Oilers in the first round of the playoffs. Add to that a 75-point season the year before, 67-point season the year before that. Kempe has been a very consistent playoff producer for the LA Kings. Every season he goes in there, he's at least getting 5 points in that first-round series against the Oilers. Some in more games, others in fewer, but he is still one of the best players that LA has on their roster. 30-goal guy, one-time 40-goal scorer, he led the team in points last year. Adrian Kempe alongside a Kopitar and Kuzmenko, a line that I think we don't really need to come up with any nicknames for. He has been so good. And he is unsigned beyond this upcoming year. So, Ken Holland on the Sportsnet 650 show was asked about Kempe and his contract status. He says this: "I've had a number of talks with Kempe's agent. We want to keep him and we believe he wants to stay. Now, we're going to take time to try and find a solution." And of course, this was posted by Sportsnet 650, who happens to be a Vancouver-related Sportsnet broadcast, and has a primary following of Vancouver Canucks fans. So you understand why the replies are going out there and saying things like this. Hey, Kempe would be the perfect winger for Elias Pettersson. Pucker Glenn goes out there and says, you have Jim Leahy, Hockey Night in Canada, saying, Kempe, Pettersson, and Besser. Get me an elite winger here. And you also had Nux Zero saying this: if Adrian Kempe is somehow available, you try to get him. He's legitimately a top 20 winger in the NHL and a true needle mover. Out of this world finishing data and elite zone entries. He's also best friends with Elias Pettersson. In case you need to get an extension done, he is there. And this tweet had 10,000 views. A lot of people going out there and seeing it, talking about Adrian Kempe and his availability potentially if things don't work out with the LA Kings. Now, the Kings are going through a pretty interesting spot right now because we just learned from their announcement a few days ago that Anze Kopitar is going to retire after this season. He's already done. He doesn't want to get in the way, in his words, of whatever it is the Kings are trying to do to get younger. I mean, I don't want to make it seem like the Kings are the oldest team in the world. Kempe himself is 29, but they do have some younger pieces. Quinton Byfield, of course, is 23, and you still got Alex Turcotte in there. Alex Laferriere is pretty young, Brandt Clark too, although who knows if Clark's gonna stick around. I mean, they just traded away Jordan Spence as well, so you can say what you want about the LA Kings getting younger, but Adrian Kempe is in a spot where he has played with Kopitar the past few years. He's been very good alongside of the Slovenian there. And I know there are some other talented pieces that the Kings have, Kuzmenko, Fiala, these guys are not bums. Warren Fogle even was a pretty productive player last year. Surprising to me, honestly, but considering his work ethic, maybe it shouldn't be a surprise. But they've gone through a lot of roster turnover. Tanner Jeannot is gone, you got Yoel Armia, you got Corey Perry too. Who knows if he's actually going to be able to play on time. The Kings are in a pretty interesting spot. And from the way that Ken Holland spoke about it on the Sportsnet broadcast, it kinda seems like it's not guaranteed that Adrian Kempe ends up sticking around and being a long-term LA King. It's possible, it is, if he wants to stay there and he believes in the future and he thinks that Quinton Byfield will be the next Kopitar. And honestly, I think the years are kinda ticking on Quinton Byfield. Please, show off that NHL elite superstardom at some point. Please, QB. But there are a number of reasons why Adrian Kempe in Vancouver would be interesting at the very least. I know one of the main arguments against it is that, hey, the Vancouver Canucks already have a decent amount of wingers. They've got already 6 that you can say are pretty good, and you really need another one at this point. Maybe it's not guaranteed that Evander Kane sticks around, so you can think about getting insurance for him, but would it not be kind of reasonable to say that with DeBrusk already signed long-term, Garland signed long-term, Besser signed long-term, and then you've got Höglander and Sherwood in there as well, maybe it's not really necessary to get a player like Adrian Kempe on the team? I can honestly buy it. I think it's a reasonable way to think about how the team is assembled, but I also do think that Adrian Kempe is just that gosh darn good. I mean, he's so talented, man. So talented. There's a lot to like out of what Adrian Kempe is able to bring to the ice, and ultimately, if he can incite some sort of a motivational spark out of Elias Pettersson, that is ultimately the best case scenario out of anybody that gets brought to this city, right? Never mind trying to make Quinn Hughes happy, how about trying to get Elias Pettersson to play a little bit better? This could be the total opposite situation of what happened with JT Miller, except you're bringing somebody in to boost Elias Pettersson's value, morale, and capability. Is that possible? I don't know. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below whether or not it's actually worth thinking about Adrian Kempe as a potential Vancouver Canuck. Is this player somebody worth thinking about? Is he an option for Vancouver? And if he is, what do you think the cost should be? We can talk all we want about how this is a good move or a bad move or a good acquisition, whatever, but it all boils down to what it would cost. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Adrian Kempe situation, you can say, going on in LA at the moment, and whether or not you think this could be an opportunity for Vancouver to strike while the hypothetical iron is hot. If you enjoyed this video at any point, please feel free to hit the like button. If you didn't like this video, then hey, the dislike button is right there for you. Commenting on the video helps out the algorithm, so I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about everything in regards to Adrian Kempe? I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.